5 3-minute rounds, CMT 74 kilogram title on the line. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, with a combined record of 47 fights, 28 victories. He stands 175 centimeters tall, weighing in at 73.45 kilograms. Training out of Calpatak, Muay Thai, and representing Ireland. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger, James Sexual Heelan. And fighting out of the red corner, with 128 fights, 96 victories, 45 by way of knockout. He stands 177 centimeters tall, weighing in at 73.6 kilograms. Trained out of the Buddha Chunga Gym. He is a 10 times world champion. Representing Australia, he is the reigning, defending CMT 74 kilogram champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the gunslinger, Parr.
What an introduction from the Fight MC, Dave Matt.
Huge introduction. Huge main event.
Doesn't get any bigger if you're James Heelan. Brad Vicali brings Heelan and Parr together. This one 5 by 3-minute rounds. Sponsored by Gasoline Alley Harley Davidson. Thanks for Swilo, sorry if I got that wrong, for the intro for Wayne Parr. We are ready, folks. Not much known about Heelan, certainly in these three. Studied gentlemen who sit cage side. Anything from you, Nick, the Nightmare Atkins? I've got nothing on the Irishman.
No, neither do I. All I can say is it's past midnight, it's past Wayne's bedtime, so I think you might try and put this one to sleep early.
Well, he once fought an absolute war against Bukau in Jamaica, which I think you might have even called.
Yes, I was there. I was there for that one. That was about 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning.
I seem to recall a certain argument over a Nathan Corbett fight.
Yeah, Corbett Spong. Yeah, it was quite good. I think there's still some people after me for that one. But
if anyone ever thinks you fake it, Hammer, they should watch that clip.
Yeah.
Oh, the memories. And here's one we're about to make, folks. Cage side at CMT 10, your main event, James Heelan and Wayne Parr. Heelan in the fluoro lion shorts.
White shorts and Parr in the dark, and Gasoline Alley. Big shout out to Rob Kay and Ferg and all the team at Gasoline Alley.
Yeah.
If you need a Harley, go and see those boys if you're in Brisbane.
Beautiful.
They will put you on the best ride ever.
Or the Gold Coast, you're not far from there either.
Goldie.
Heelan starting early, kicking to the body. Parr, his usual circumspect self at the start, feeling his opponent out. Double kick to the outside thigh there.
His props on the back leg and his trademark push or switch lead round kick. So you'll switch off that lead leg into the rib cage, into the liver, and then bring the right hand through, blast away. You know, trademark style if he gets the opportunity, John Wayne Parr. Heelan.
Out the grapple early on the Irishman.
Yeah, just testing it out. That's a good time to see what the vertical base of the opponent's like, see what he's got, see if he's going to be comfortable in the clinch or not.
Yeah, try and pick up a weakness early if you can, if you're lucky. Parr. Looping right hand. We've called that about 400 times in the past 5 years, Hammer.
Parr steps off to his left, throws right, and blasts away. Here's the handwork, body.
Heelan moves nicely laterally, but then stands still. You can't do that, mate. He's going to have to move laterally more often. Did well in the first instance to get out of the way of the attack.
Heelan definitely needs to be on the balls of his feet. He's got the height and reach advantage quite obviously. Needs to be using it more. I'd like to see him draw the jab and try and feed the jab out, at least as a distraction, rather.
He's got to have something on offer in the front counter there, and he is working towards it. Because Parr, what he'll do is he'll just bully you into submission if you let him.
Just switches back. Looking very comfortable indeed. John Wayne Parr.
Pushing off to that jab. Goes up high with the right leg.
Oh, spinning heel kick.
Oh, that's the third one tonight. Hammer, you're going to have to take a sleeping tablet.
I'm in heaven.
Someone pulls out an axe kick or a crescent kick.
I'll tell you what.
We'll call it medivac.
Jumping back kick.
Oh, that'll do. Parr already starting to explore just what's possible. Heelan, he doesn't want to, we've spoken about this before, doesn't want to get intimidated about who's in front of him in centre ring. The guys that have done well against Wayne Parr in recent times, your Brad Riddells, your Toby Smiths, they aren't intimidated by Wayne Parr.
Yeah, definitely. They'll mix it up. They'll have their game plan and they'll stick to it. What we're seeing at the moment is Parr just initiating most of the attacks. So Heelan with the height and reach advantage. I'd love to see him just pop the jab, bit of push kick, measure the distance, then set his forward movement a bit more. But he's just sort of sitting there waiting for Parr to unload on him and trying to counterfight him, which is not a smart strategy in my mind.
The suggestion to me that you're in more danger from the hands of Conor McGregor than Oscar De La Hoya, Ricky Hatton,
correct,
etc. Anyhow, we're back to Muay Thai. It's ridiculous. Here's round two, folks, of your 74-kilo CMT title here at CMT 10. Bex Tui. Cage side with Mark the Hammer Castanini and Nick the Nightmare Atkins, both cruiserweight champions. I'm just a heavyweight motor mouth.
Heavyweight commentating champion.
You're a good one.
Heavyweight talking champion of Australia.
Nice, there's the switch, prop and switch from Wayne.
It closes the distance so well, folks, as you see that, switches up onto the left body kick, which is so often a defensive and offensive technique of Wayne's. He tries to fire it again there.
It's good to see Heelan not backing himself onto the cage, because when he does that, that's when Wayne's going to blast him with the hands. So you'll see John Wayne, he'll prop, he'll push, and when he gets Heelan on the cage, that's when he'll blast away with the hands. That'll be his push blast sort of fight principle. And Heelan has to really just keep popping that jab to break John Wayne's rhythm. As if you stand there, that's what's going to happen. He's going to flow. And if you want to break that flow, you've got to do something.
You're just a punching bag with shorts on if you don't move laterally, in my opinion.
Keep switching angles.
Particularly against a man who you know is going to come forward relentlessly. Moving backwards just works into his plan. Either come forwards or move side.
Big elbow, big spinning elbow.
Nearly takes the adds-on side off the side of the cage.
Catch and spin. Wow, poetry in motion, John Wayne Parr. Popping the jab himself. Heelan looking for the hook into the clinch. Again for the hook he goes.
Beautiful
Heelan.
shot for to the body there. Parr changing levels. And nice to see Heelan get off the cage with that
exactly.
speed.
Being on the cage is not going to be any good for him. And you know what? You still got to give props to Heelan for taking this fight on short notice, because there's not too many people that will.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's almost been a show saver, because without Wayne Parr as the main event, it's not quite the same, I suppose. So.
Absolutely. Very different. This man is a main event in any country in the world. He presses forward. Heelan offers one back. Parr measuring. We've seen this before. Beautiful left hook from Heelan.
Heelan again looking to get something away. Rear round kick, catching.
Just see a
catch
rise
for catch they go.
In confidence from the Irishman there for a second after he landed that left hook.
Well, plants and throws. Now he's not giving John Wayne as much respect as he did in the first round, Heelan. I think as he survives longer, he's going to get more confident, this Irishman.
Absolutely. If it bleeds, you can kill it. Parr changing levels like an absolute pro, just notching up the points. He knows it's always about the long run here.
High head kick, Heelan.
So good at moving out.
Fork back, nice evasive movement from Heelan now. And you can see his confidence growing just that little bit. Every minute he's
downward
in the cage,
elbow.
Every minute he's surviving the onslaught, he's going to get more confident.
James Heelan
2 rounds down.
That last minute of the round, Nick, I would suggest best minute for the first for the fight so far for James Heelan.
Definitely, he's starting to walk forward a little bit more and throw his hands are getting nice and close too. It's exciting.
Yeah, and Hammer, I saw some good hands on the Irishman. Perhaps we might have some footage of it in just a moment. But saw some good hands, icing that shin already. And that's, of course, because of the work rate down low on that inside thigh of Parr as well.
Yeah, definitely. He may have a pre-existing shin injury. See him trying to slow his breathing down, slow the heart rate down, get his breathing under control again. As Heelan hasn't had the chance to prepare for this fight, obviously taking it on short notice. So who knows how fight ready he was coming into this.
He's
one.
Irish.
Be fight ready walking down the street.
He'd take you in a nappy. Look, I've got to say though, we all sort of called it in our own rights, but he landed 1 or 2 shots there. There was a clipping left hook that he landed that just got Wayne's attention. And all of a sudden there's that downward elbow that just misses the mark.
Hits a collarbone rather than the top of the cranium.
But is it one of those things, you guys have both been in the ring far more times than I have, is it one of those things, Nick, that you sort of 30 seconds by 30 seconds you go, I'm still here with this guy, he can't kill me?
Yeah, well, you're certainly building a confidence, but I think he's been a little bit tricky with the tricky kicks at the first couple of rounds. Now I think Wayne might go back to the basics and back him up on the cage again and start getting these routines with a bit of punishment.
He doesn't want to leave it to a battle of pace, as we saw with Gotsanoi.
Yep.
Who took Chris Wells easy early, and Wells,
Underestimated
expecting that, just came out with the heavy artillery and it was all over.
Correct.
Let's go, Blue. Let's go, boys.
So far, Sean Clancy, the only person to hold their title tonight at CMT 10. Heelan starts out early with good hands.
Once again, our main event, Gasoline Alley, Harley Davidson, main event sponsor. What a main event it's turning to be. Heelan is getting more confident as the moments go down, the seconds tick down, he's getting more, you can see him actually growing in confidence.
He's coming forward.
Yeah,
that's
definitely
the difference. He's coming forward, his hands are up, and he's looking to counter. But across from him is a man who's just genuinely seen it all before.
And Heelan knows if he can cause an upset here, he's going to be elevated. Like world recognition is what you're talking. Immediate world recognition if he can take care of business here.
It's a resume. It's the I worked at Google of Muay Thai.
Correct.
Parr, though, isn't going to give that resume note up easy. He changes levels, unloads the leather, and the trademark body kick there. Very nice stuff. High, then low. You've seen something, Hammer?
Yeah, no, I'm just what I'm saying is that, or I'm thinking rather, is the fact that Wayne Parr, his work rate at this age, even in a fight, he's not slowing. Like I'm expecting to turn up one day and call one of his fights and go, okay, I can see he's slowing up a bit. But you know what? He fights at the same tempo that he was doing 10 years ago.
Amazing.
It's killing me.
And people think he just rolls out fight after fight after fight. Nick, you can test to this because you've trained at his gym for a long time. The training work ethic is as good as ever.
It certainly is, mate. And we've had crew pick there this fight prep from Thailand, and he's been making sure Wayne, after his run and pads, he's hitting the bag, and 4 or 5 people lined up to spar him without a break. So he's super fit for this one, but he runs every day, 20 Ks a day, 12 in the morning, 8 at night religiously.
He runs 20 Ks a day. Geez, I struggle to drive that far these days.
I haven't run 20 Ks in my life.
Right hand down to the body, double shot off the right, changing levels beautifully. John Wayne brings the elbows in. Heelan is going to be needing some Heelan if he stands there and absorbs much more punishment.
How long have you been holding on to that?
Not at all. Just came up with it at that moment.
It just came
just right there. It came to me like a flash of brilliance.
I've got to say, I'm impressed with the Irishman's chin already. He's copped a fair bit, and he's
and I'm looking at his face, and his clarity is very clear in his face. He's not. He hasn't got that pain look. He hasn't got. He hasn't got that fatigue look. He's got that real poker face going on.
Parr is cut badly over the top of the eye.
And that is going to just be like a bull to a red cloth for Heelan. He's going to see that, and that's going to give him another 10%.
You see Parr there, he's got, it's not suggesting he has vision issues, but that is a goiter.
Yeah, that's a big cut.
And that's in a bad
That's
spot.
a big cut for Wayne Parr. And Heelan, have a look at him now in the corner, starting to look confident.
Well, he's just cut John Wayne Parr.
Gentlemen, I'm telling you, as the moments go down of this fight, he is growing in stature internally.
And he's gotten to the stage now, I'd suggest, Nick, that even if he doesn't win, I recall the first fight between Brad Riddell and Wayne Parr, where Riddell lost on points, but you knew from that fight, Riddell was the real deal.
Well, that's right. And once a fighter fights someone of a higher caliber, and they survive it, in fact, and they do well in themselves, they know that maybe next time they're not going to step in. He would have been so intimidated in that first round that he was almost paralysed. You know what I mean? His movement wasn't flowing. It's a big occasion. He would be nervous. And now is all of that's going.
Having a lot of trouble with that cut because it's come up in almost an upside down U shape.
Yep.
Really hard to close. It's not a single linear cut. You've got 2 or 3 axes of cuts that we can see there. This is the second or third attempt.
Well, they keep fastening it, trying to stop the bleeding. Slowly, they're working it okay, but geez, it's a difficult one to plug up, that one.
Nick, I'll throw it to you. You're sitting on the stool and you've got a cut like that. All of a sudden, you're not thinking game plan, you're thinking cut. Do you have to consciously put yourself back into, hey, this is what I have to do?
Well, you'd have to listen to your corner. Obviously, Wayne can't see the cut, so he has to go off what they're telling him. If they're telling him, look, it's a pretty bad cut, you might have to get him out of there pretty quickly, the game plan changes.
Well, we'll soon see, I think, if there's been any change in the game plan. It looks to be relatively taken care of, but you can guarantee Heelan's going to have a crack at it.
Heelan's just going to try and stick the jab on it now and try and just aggravate it as much as he can, get the blood in the eye, impede the vision, and then try and get some advantage from that. Obviously, if it's on his right eye, he'll step to the right and throw right, because that's going to be where it's bothering him. So try and take full advantage of the damage that he's created, Heelan.
Classic Wayne Parr move, measure high, deliver into the breadbasket. That's probably one of the 4 punches I landed on Warwick Kappa, that combination. Still talk about the good old days.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, just 2 minutes.
And yes, it did feel good to punch him. Parr closing. Doesn't seem to be any change in urgency yet at this stage.
Parr just chopping away.
How's that cut-looking hammer?
Nice cross guard block from Wayne Parr. Mark of experience from him. Heelan not using the full reach that he should be, but the cut's holding up okay, Bex, to answer your question.
I'm seeing perhaps a weakness on the left side there, Heelan, getting a little loose. That right hand is actually dropping and he's squaring up. So perhaps a left hook on the end of a combination would be a nice little interaction there for Wayne Parr, Nick.
Yeah, I think that's, Wayne's probably landed about 30 left kicks over the first 3 rounds, so his arm's coming down a little bit sore. So yeah, definitely a left hook might do the job.
So much in the preparation, as in the fight as well. But Heelan, he's starting to blow a little heavier now, the Irishman, into deep water with Wayne Parr. It doesn't get much harder.
No, and Wayne's just constantly putting the points on the judges' scorecards as well. Just keeps constantly attacking each shot, rolling into the next when he's able to.
He's a pest.
And just pushes Heelan the way, creates distance, throws a right hand. Mark of experience, John Wayne Parr. Heelan trying for the counter left hook. They trade up against the cage.
Pushing on comes Parr. 2, 3, 4 shots. Beautiful crossing elbow, but Heelan's having nothing of it. He's got to move out of there, Hammer. Otherwise, he's going to be in trouble. He does just that. Good work defensively from the Irishman.
Well, Parr looking to snatch the body, looking to break the body, snap Heelan in half, punching through the midsection.
Look at the focus of John Wayne Parr. He wants to close that distance and send him back to Ireland.
He's got to be careful, Wayne Parr, when he drops down for the body, that Heelan doesn't counter with an elbow. So as his head comes in, that he doesn't roll that elbow off Wayne Parr. But good movement, uppercut, uppercut,
and Heelan is in a world of hurt.
Yeah.
But he just stands up. These Irish people, they're amazing.
Ironclad jawline from Heelan.
Breathing a little heavier. You wouldn't know he just got an 8-punch combination, high and low, from a 10-time world champion.
Well, James Heelan, Wayne Parr, supreme work rate. But James Heelan, tell you what, should be happy with his effort to just be in there and mixing it up with the champ.
Just as you say that, Heelan throws his hands into the air to say, I've made it this far.
Yep,
He's the Mount Midoriyama of Muay Thai. Nick, the Nightmare Atkins, you've had a title in the shed in this very discipline. You've also been behind on points in this very discipline. If you're Heelan, what are you got to do against this absolute machine of JWP that we're seeing on screen?
Well, yeah, I don't think he's won a round, so I think he's got to sort of put him to sleep or strategically work on that cut. If you can open that cut up a bit more, they can have a look at it. Maybe that's a strategic way of winning. Yeah, I'm not too sure what else he can do.
Pretty simple advice, isn't it, Hammer? He would need a stoppage in this final round. As impressed as we are with him, the chin on the bloke.
Yeah, look, it's a title fight, so he's got to take the title convincingly. At this point, he's surviving, but
he's fighting the promoter.
It's still a victory for Heelan. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
For him to be in the fight, taking the fight, late notice, and he's still trading, and he's absorbing the punishment and standing up to it. That's credibility right there for him as well.
Look at this work rate of Parr, and Heelan just moves back and turtles, and that's not what you want to do against a man with this many options to hurt you.
Yeah, and Parr's keeping his work rate up, so he's fighting an intelligent fight, knowing that even if he is resilient and he's going to stand there, he's just putting the points up, and he's not going to let this one slip easy, John Wayne.
No ice at all on the midsection or the arms or anything of Heelan. He has copped an absolute pounding, predictably, from the left leg of John Wayne Parr.
His body must be well conditioned. He's taking the big shots, and but then again, he's probably traded big knees in Thailand to the body, so
he looks pretty neat.
He's in good shape. He's in good shape.
I just saw his trainer twirling his mo. I think that's the first time I've ever seen something like that in my life.
It's a little bit different. Final round, folks. This one, the CMT 74-kilo title. John Wayne Parr and James Sexual Heelan.
Letting it all go in centre cage now.
Parr, double right hand. I love it. So many people would come out and just point for point at this stage, but he wants to make a statement. It's always the mantra of the great man, as Heelan lands a beautiful left of his own.
Well, Heelan knows he needs a knockout. He needs a big finish. He's going to have any sort of
well, he's got the chance
in this one.
Against the cage, Hammer. This is where he wants him if he's going to affect that knockout. Parr happy just to sit up on top of our broadcast position and try and land that crossing elbow.
Rolling right from Parr.
Let him out far too easily there.
Slips nicely, good head movement, goes back and then comes forward. And if you're watching this one at home and you're a fighter, take note, you can back up to give yourself room to blast forward. Textbook stuff from John Wayne Parr.
Absolutely.
And there it is, feeds the right
skills.
Hand. Beautiful hands, uppers to overs, all angles.
We always talk about his boxing skills, and so much of that is also the defensive, the head movement, the rotation as well that leads. He's married Western boxing with Thai boxing so well.
And of course, with these gloves, CMT rules, you've got to have sharp hands, you've got to have accuracy with your striking. That's all part of the game. This is nothing like the traditional Muay Thai that you fight with the bigger gloves and
absolutely
obviously in the ring. So it's changed the game, CMT.
A minute and a half to go in this one. The title fight at 74 kilos, and you'd have to have Parr ahead against a valiant Irishman in Heelan who hits the deck. But there's still plenty of time. We have seen titles taken away already tonight from really fancied men.
Definitely had it all. This show's had it all. Premium matchmaking. The fights have been A-class. It's had upsets. It's had dynamic spin kicks. It's had it all.
It's had 4 spinning heel kicks, so Hammer's happy.
And it's got Gasoline Alley as the main sponsor. What more could you want?
Not much. And a big congratulations to James Heelan for taking this on bugger all notice as well. He has turned out a treat, Nick.
I reckon he'll get the invite back. Geez, look at what they put in front of him. Look at Michael Badado and Heelan. There's a fight.
Be quite good if he can drop a couple of kilos, maybe Elliot Compton.
Yep.
He seems pretty comfortable at 74. Looks more a traditional middleweight size.
Look at that lead hand of Heelan has created havoc on Wayne Parr's face.
Parr doesn't care because there's 10 seconds to go and he keeps the belt pouring forward. There is leather going through the Irishman at a rate of knots. He came here with an idea to take over the championship, but tonight is not his night.
Great fight.
What a fight.
James Heelan, you just went 5 rounds with John Wayne Parr. Take a bow, sir.
Tell you what, there's some shenanigans going on under the Irish flag over there. They're celebrating.
You imagine what him and Clancy are going to do tonight?
I tell you what.
Don't say that, Clancy's staying at my house.
Clancy's staying at your house.
Oh, tearing up your house, not the town.
You said that.
Nick, I'd put down some plastic sheets and get a couple of buckets. To be honest.
Jeez. But wow, tell you what, James Heelan, hold your head up high, son. You've done an awesome job.
All right, fighters to the centre of the cage. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for these 2 warriors. And of course, big thanks to Gasoline Alley, Harley Davidson for sponsoring this fight. After 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. They have rendered their decision. And ladies and gentlemen, the winner and still